What? How do you win a new car, Scott Balcom? You don't. You buy them. And they're really expensive right now. In fact, it's probably cheaper to buy a new car than a used car right now because of the chip shortage. Welcome, everybody. Wednesday, January 26th. 26th. And here we are. It's another episode of Cameron Flask, and Caleb's back. Sorry we started a couple of minutes late.
Hello, everybody.
There may have been a slower than normal Caleb coming back to camera because he went to go get a drink. What's up, Bill? Brandon? Yes, Caleb is alive. Caleb, would you let everybody know all 6 people who are here right now, what happened? What happened? You had a little accident. That's why you weren't here last week.
A little bit of skiing accident. Screwed up my knee. Swelling's down, so I'm going to get probably an MRI here in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
And see what's going on in there. But it's leaning toward torn ACL. So there goes 9 to 12 months.
Great.
For full recovery.
Oh, yeah. For full, right. Yeah, it takes a long time. Or maybe nothing's wrong with Caleb and he just wanted an extra couple of weeks to grow his beard. But I think it was probably the skiing trip is probably the truth. Well, gentlemen, it's good to see you again. Good to have you back. Caleb, as always, it's never the same without the 3 of us and everybody else in the chat, like Michael and who else do we have here? 360s here. Wouter. Tyler.
Brandon saying, didn't someone famous just die in a skiing accident? I didn't hear that.
Oh, great.
Are you thinking of Sonny Bono? That was a long time ago.
No. There was a French actor a couple of weeks ago, or a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, who did die in, I'm going to guess in the Alps, because, if you're a French ski actor.
I hadn't heard about it.
Yeah. He was in some stuff. I just, heard something like that. It was recent.
Shit.
Interesting.
And Caleb did not, and he's here. So it's
no, I'm alive.
Okay. And speaking of alive, I'm alive and ready for a drink. Should we do that?
Yes.
Caleb, you're back. Tell us what you're drinking if you don't mind, sir.
All right. Today's exciting because we're not doing this guy.
Knob Creek.
Like I've been doing for the last 5 episodes. Today
we're
venturing down a road that, as you'll see, I've already ventured down. But we're doing this guy.
Whoa, what is that? Pilar?
This is dark rum.
Oh, wow.
So for Christmas, my family does we randomly get picked to be somebody's, gift giver and receiver. Mm-hmm. So my dad had me this year and he's like, what do you want? And at the, as many of you know, when you reach a certain age, it's just booze being passed around.
That's correct.
It's pretty lame, but also awesome. And I've always been intrigued by rums, but don't know anything about it. He knows some things about rum. So, been absolutely delightful. So
really,
really, really nice. So this is a dark rum. I'm trying to remember the timing on this when it comes to, I'm still not even that familiar with how they make it, but just delicious. So to me, coming from whiskey scotch, it's almost like a mixed drink in that it's very drinkable, but a lot of depth. So I've been quite enjoying that kind of roasty, mapley, sweet action here. So I'll do a quick, I'm going to just use a little glass here. But yeah, very, very nice. Love the color.
Embracing hard light. I like that. Seeing more of that in movies lately, by the way. No, I'm just saying I am seeing more hard light in movies lately. I've been noticing a trend.
Check this out too. This cap is amazing. Let's see if I can get it in focus.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Nice.
It's machined like aluminum. Knurling and everything.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
So, very, very nice stuff. So yeah, rum. You should give it a shot.
Great.
If you haven't before. For anyone else?
Yeah, I can tell you without any reservation that for about 27 years of my life, I did not drink rum because of one fateful night in New York City. And that was the one.
That was me and Brandy.
Yep. And I was like, nope, that's not happening. And I do now have it occasionally, but distilled sugar It's a hard one to take. But
That's Southern Comfort for me. Same thing. Years. Years. But a weird little story with the old Southern Comfort thing. So as a teenager, got really, really bad off it one night, drank an entire bottle with a friend, and it was like a litre bottle, duty-free bottle. Yeah. And then every time that I even smelt it, it was... And about 15 years later, I bought a bottle in an airport and thought, no, I'm over this now, surely. Took the top off it.
Nope.
Straight back in the cupboard where it sat for 5 years until, I don't know if this commercial aired in the US, but there was a guy, it was called Whatever's Comfortable. It was this kind of older, slightly chunkier fella walking down the beach in his Speedos with his glass of, and just being the coolest guy ever. And it was the whole tagline to it was Whatever's Comfortable. It was a really good advert, and it was so funny. It just, something switched in my brain. Now I'm gonna go try that again, and it's fine now. After not even being able to smell it, and I can drink the thing. Weird.
So really, you having weird. Southern Comfort today?
Really
Let's see
weird.
What you're drinking.
I'm not. I'm having the. I'm going to finish the Talisker.
Your audio just cut out. Caleb, can you speak completely for a second?
Yep. Hello? Check.
Your audio cut out too.
I heard. You can't hear
nothing.
Either of those.
Ben sounds amazing.
Can you hear me? Thumbs up.
Yes.
Wow. So strange. My headphones didn't die. All right, keep talking. We'll see what happens.
All right. Weird. So I'm going to have the Talisker, which is the first drink I've had since the show last week. I've kind of more or less stopped drinking. Not stopped drinking like I'm not going to drink, but I've kind of got out of drinking. I got sick over Christmas and I didn't really drink very much, and I've just kind of followed it on a bit. If there's an occasion,
makes it
if
hard
you're going
to
out,
have a conversation
whatever.
with you if I can't hear you.
I'm not saying it's going to last very long, but
Travis says it's like old times.
Ecam's being weird right now, by the way.
Is.
Earlier on, when the boys logged on, I saw no levels for them. They could hear me. I couldn't hear them. Now I can't hear either of you. Well, I guess it is kind of the same thing, but I see levels.
So are we back to the Ben
the
and
heck
Caleb
is
show?
going on here?
Oh, that was a good episode.
Well, I can't hear you. This is ridiculous.
Well, Ben,
you know what's going to happen though.
Hello.
No, but you know what's going to happen. We're going to end up chatting, and he's just going to talk over us.
Yep,
that's what's going to happen.
What'd you say?
I'm texting him now.
Who are you texting me?
Okay.
Your drink. Oh, you can hear now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't act like. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. Well, I answered you. Stop being cheeky.
Right, before you get cut off again and it turns into the Ben and Caleb show, let's see that drink.
No, my output didn't switch. Just Ecam's being weird. I'm sure they'll push out a new thing. I think I'm going to have Illicit Still by Glenlivet. And I don't want to take up anybody's extra time here, but it's very nice. It's apparently the original formula for Glenlivet. Whether that's true or not is probably BS. But cheers. You wanted to say something, Ben, before we do
No, sorry, just what was it called, that Glenlivet again?
It's called Illicit Still. Illicit.
Okay.
And it's a 12-year, and it says the original stories, whatever the hell that means, limited. Who knows? It tastes good. So cheers to everyone. And to the chat. There they are over there.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Nice story.
It is like old times, Travis, when, we won't remember those old times, even though we do. They were fun.
I came across that video I cut together.
Oh, that's the best. Episode. Oh, amazing.
So good.
It's
I'm going to fix this light because it's making me crazy. But first, Ben, as we finish our first sip, that's good life, I think. Drinking on occasion, special occasions, or weekends.
Yeah,
for anyone
so I'm
who's
kind
a
of
regular drinker. Good for your health.
I'm sleeping a lot better and finding focus a lot better, even though it's not like I was drinking loads, but I would go through, I don't know, maybe a couple of bottles of red a week, that kind of
yeah.
Which I suppose is a reasonable amount, but not. So I've just cut that out. So I'm not, if people come around, have a drink, or you go to someone's house, have a drink, go out, have a drink, come on here, have a drink. But generally that whole, it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I've done a load of edit today, I'm having a drink. What I am doing and finding really good, because it's that kind of beer thing of bitterness and fizziness that I find very refreshing at the end of the day. just non-alcoholic beer, completely has the same thing. One of those, and I found a really, really good non-alcoholic beer, which you just can't tell the difference. If you drink 2 or 3 of those overnight, it's weird because after the second one, you go because you're not feeling anything.
Right.
But the first one, if you just have one, like this one's it has to be properly cold. But honestly, it's working out quite well. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, good. Cheers to that. And thank you very much, Camille, for €5 super chat for the booze. Always appreciate it. And we'll just say that €5 is paying for this dram of illicit still. So thank you very much. Really, really good to have everybody here. And, I think that this is the official week that we are going to set the ground rules, and I need some input from you two gentlemen and the chat on our first film photography challenge. It's our first challenge for the year, and I think we have most of it worked out, and we discussed it last week, Caleb. And really, it's just a follow-up to what you and I spoke about. But now we want to figure out what platform we're going to post people's photographs. We're going to go ahead and figure out the date of when this is going to, basically be our episode. And then we'll figure out other things to talk about for the next few weeks. But let's, you want to get into that first, or is there anything that anybody wants to bring up either in the chat with an @the_C47 with a question, or you two gentlemen, is there anything you want to bring up at the moment? Any news or anything that we should be chatting about before we get into that?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Yeah. I saw that review of the wireless Go 2 knockoffs on New Shooter, and they look ridiculous because there's 2 transmitters and they mix the 2 together when it gets to the receiver, so you can't have them on separate. It's like the dumbest thing ever. So,
have you seen how many knockoffs there are?
So many.
I keep wanting to do a video on it, but like every other day a new one comes up and it comes out. It's wild. There's so many. There's like probably at least 25.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Tyler, we talked about the R5C last week. I don't know if you were on the show. I think that the general feeling
I missed that.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to hear your thoughts briefly as well.
I wish I could have heard both of y'all's thoughts.
Yeah.
Because you're both Canon folk.
For me, it's an interesting camera. I think that the price point is really the head scratcher, $4,500 US. You really start looking at that C70 if video's your game very seriously. I'm not smaller, and I think it's going to be very capable. Obviously, they've worked out, or it seemed to have worked out, some of the heat issues. And if you need higher resolution, you're not going to get that out of the C70. It's also full frame, and with the C70, you need that adapter. So there's a lot of different things depending on what you're trying to do with the camera system. But obviously, for a hybrid camera, it's one of the most powerful, feature-rich cameras that's come to market. My biggest thing was, can't we just get Blackmagic RAW into a camera system, other than a Blackmagic camera or something? Because, Cinema Raw Lite and that kind of stuff is great, but it's not BMD RAW, which I'd love. Or Red.
Honestly,
Red
I
RAW
don't
would be
care
fine.
until Final Cut supports it, but
yeah,
that's me as a Final Cut person.
The other thing we were saying was, ProRes RAW. Can Apple please just open that up so we can access a lot more information and do more things with it? Speaking of Final Cut,
just be able to use it in Resolve at all would be good.
Yeah,
good
luck with that.
So that was my big thing with it was that as being a predominantly Resolve user, and no IBIS. Otherwise, I'm still seriously considering that camera because the way things are and the work that's coming in at the moment, it's quite a bit of offshore stuff in the offing. That's great, being able to just take that in the R6.
No IBIS though.
But the IBIS thing is a big deal. It's a really, really big deal. But
it is a bigger camera, so hopefully that helps kind of ease that pain.
Not much, though. It's only like 100 grams. 200 grams heavier.
Wait, heavier?
Like it looks bigger because it's got that the lump with the cooling thing on, but most of that is clearly just Air, it's very, very little different to the
Man, they just
original.
honestly what they need to do is figure out their processors are just sad.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like they're having all these massive overheating problems. Their data rate's higher, but that's not necessarily a heat thing, because you would think if you compress more, you're generating more heat. If you have a higher data rate file, you're doing less work to create that file, because you're squeezing all that information down less. But like Sony, everyone else seems to have it kind of figured out.
Yeah.
And I just realized that almost all of them, except for Nikon and Fuji, they make TVs. So maybe they kind of have that whole, like, they have more, knowledge in the processing department. I don't know, because Canon only makes optics and cameras, right? Where Sony does laptops, TVs, Panasonic does TVs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canon does medical
like
equipment.
Heat is a big problem for Canon.
Yeah,
it is, and it's a weird thing, because that camera, as much as I like so much about it, it does feel like it's a sticking plaster band-aid over the faults with the original version of it.
Well, Tyler's saying
it's still really interesting, but
yeah,
I may end up buying it yet. We'll see.
Yep. They're talking about Peter McKinnon's video, and Scott said that wobble was added in post with it. Memo, etiquette at the C47. Just taking the piss. Can I use expired film for the challenge? We'll talk about that. I don't see any reason why not, as long as it's black and white. And yeah, there you go. Cool. Any other things that we want to bring up? Yes, Leica came out with the M11. It's $8,000 US. Go for it. That's all I got to say. If you want it, go buy it. It looks beautiful. If I had endless money, maybe I'd get one. But I'm not a dentist or a doctor with or a financial advisor with a bottomless pocket for a hobby. So I'll keep buying my $200 to $300 cameras on eBay. That's what I'm going to do.
And
cameras
I saw
like that. I mean, that's nuts. Let's like buying a Bugatti or Lamborghini, or not even Lamborghini. That's big boy money.
And that's
if you
sans
scale
lens.
It up to cars.
Yeah.
And a car like that, you drive a handful of times a year. It has to live in a certain environment, and it's just not fun, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to take that camera out on a rainy trip and, like, snippety snap, just have it bouncing on your hip as you're walking around.
No,
baby, that thing.
No, but the X100V from Fuji, yeah, it's not full frame, blah blah blah. But that thing, it costs $1,200, and it's weatherproof. So I'm like, okay, if something really happened to that thing, I'd be really upset, but I wouldn't be upset like a $10,000 to $12,000 Leica M11 with a great lens on it. I mean, that's really what you're talking about. So, yeah,
bizarre. Michael, just pick up on question from Michael. Said, Ben, don't you find the IBIS makes for some overly looking stabilized shots, meaning you get that warp stabilizer looking wobble that looks artificial? Does that not happen? Yeah, it does. I think the thing is that people get wrong with what that is for is if you start trying to use that camera as if you're using it with a gimbal. It doesn't work for that. That's when you get this. What's massively useful for me is be able to run around, shoot little bits of talking heads, little interview snippets. I shot a little film with the R6 recently, and I did the whole thing handheld, but I did have a gimbal that I put it on for when we were doing tracking shots, but I'm not. Yeah. It's more just to be able to handhold the thing. Yeah. And being able to do that, and again, you're picking your lenses as well. Going stupidly wide, that's gonna cause more problems than more standard focal lengths. But it is seriously an issue because the R6 is great the way that works for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just buy another one of those. But obviously I'd like those extra codecs, the ability to shoot raw, all that stuff would be good, the higher frame rates. Yeah. So it is a big deal.
It's going to sell like hotcakes.
Oh, they're going to sell that camera for sure.
The only two downers is IBIS and micro HDMI.
Yeah. Which is
but
mini. I think they put mini.
Boo-booed.
Yeah.
Mini? Is it
Yeah.
mini or micro?
It's mini, I think, but I actually don't like mini. I was saying it last week. I actually think that mini is worse than micro because I have had
100%.
more mini snap off than micro any day of the week.
Because it's even thinner.
Yes.
It's the same thickness or even thinner, I think, and
total
wider.
Ass. It's so ass.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah,
it's also when you're using IBIS. I mean, to me, a lot of it, like you're saying, Ben, it's how you're using the camera. You know, if you're using the camera and you're rocking the baby a little bit, it's fine. But if you start turning the camera when you're hand holding it and it starts to compensate and do weird things, you have to really sort that out and figure out when you are or not using it. But
and there's so many people seem to do, they're doing videos on it and they're walking with it, and to me that's not what that's for. That's not you put it on a gimbal if you're doing that, and even then you're not going to get steady cam like shots with it. That's not the point. And the thing with the and just on using it with a gimbal, using the combination of the gimbal and with the in-body stabilization on the R6 is amazing. To stuff where I was still with the gimbal with the R having to just smooth things off just a touch in post. This is just perfect. Every shot's great with it. So it's a thing.
Well, there you have it. So Memo, you're pushing it now. Now he wants expired Ektachrome transferred to black and white. No, black and white film. All right, now you're pushing it. Now you might as well shoot digital, transfer to film, and then scan back in. I mean, redonk.
We could do that.
We could, but what else?
That used to be quite a big thing with features, didn't it? People would shoot it digitally and then transfer it onto film stock to get the frame back in and then scan it back again.
Oh yeah. All right, kids. Let's talk challenge. Let's do it. Okay. So black and white film photography challenge. It's going to be 2 of your favorite shots taken from, we're going to say, from last week forward, because that's when we really were talking about it. We can say from today forward if we want to. And one is going to basically be a daylight shot, and then the other one's going to be a low light shot, whether that's at nighttime or an interior with low light. And there's no other real parameters other than that, right? I think. And then we have to figure out when it's going to happen, and then what's the platform so everybody can share, so that we're not just pulling up, 20, hopefully 20 plus PDFs. We're going and looking at people's galleries or their names, and they can contribute to a Flickr channel or something like that. Any feelings on that? Is it a channel? I don't know. I don't do Flickr, so. What's this?
It's 360, obviously.
Yeah,
can I use expired SD cards and transfer it to photo paper?
Of course you can. Come on. There has to be a one. What were those tiny little SD cards? Like the first ones would come out, they were like 512K or something, or one.
Yes.
So you have to get. That's it. So one photo per card. No, and so. No scans. It's just strictly you're shooting on black and white film, you get it processed, and then you either get prints and you can figure out how you want to digitize your prints, or you have them actually scan for you, or you scan. That's what I think.
So on that, just to talk about the scanners again that we were talking about last week, I did have a good scour through eBay after the show. Yeah. And there actually are a reasonable amount of decent scanners still around for not stupid money. Really? I mean, you're going to need to be doing this and getting into this as a hobby to warrant spending it. But it's only, there was stuff between 100 and 150 pounds that were really good scanners back in the day, 15, 20 years ago, which are still going to be doing a great job. So the Nikon Cool Scans, the Minolta.
Show off in 3, 2, 1.
Why are you guys laughing?
Nothing at all.
You liars.
What are you wanting to show us?
It's not show and tell. Sam has a comment here about an AE1 that he's going to try to take out of the closet. I don't know if that's right. I'm not judging you. You thought what? You thought I had to go far?
We were expecting you to come back with it. We thought you'd gone back to come and show
Pull out
us
a
a
scanner,
scanner
and be like, I
that
have one.
you'd bought for
Ooh, no, I don't.
$20 off it.
No.
Okay.
Energizer A544. There's other ones, but the batteries for your AU1 are readily available. So very easy to get. And you can pick those up pretty much anywhere. I bought these on eBay, and that's all you need. So you can get batteries for that camera and all of the cameras. Wine is one of the companies that makes a lot of the batteries now, because the old batteries use slightly different technology, but it's WIEN. They're putting out a lot of batteries that have the same voltage as the older batteries, and so they can all be brought back to life. That's for sure. Yeah.
So a question on format: is there a format requirement 35, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7? I'm saying no. I think we should leave that open. No.
Whatever
I don't care. Yeah, if you want to shoot 120, you want to shoot 35 millimeter, you can 135, whatever you want. Go for it. It's
what I think we should do though. I would like, and I think this was Caleb's suggestion from when we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
No crop.
No, I agree. No crop. Yeah.
And when we're scanning them, I don't know if it's easy to do, but you didn't say that. Okay.
No, that was
a great
last
suggestion.
week. Yeah, no crop. We were talking about composition. Yeah, take it.
Yeah. So, and even, I always like scanning if you can, and not all of them make it as easy to do, but scan with the rebating would be great.
Scan what?
With the rebate, the little black bits around the edge.
Those little Instagrammy bits.
Yeah, but for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. Okay. That's not a requirement, though.
You don't have to do that. That's not a requirement. But no cropping is.
Bonus points.
Bonus points. Yeah, no cropping. For sure. So, and if you do crop, it's on you. It's your conscience. And, we're not going to police this, okay? But we say no cropping. So shoot for composition.
You have to either be in a wheelchair or wear crutches while you're taking the shot. To require.
Drinking rum. And drinking rum. Double fisting rum. Rum jungles, I guess.
Be one drink in at least.
At least one drink, yes. Cool. Perfect.
So that's the deal. Black and white, one daylight, one interior, no crop.
Or nighttime. So that second one can be at night, right? It can still, moonlight, whatever.
Right,
it can be nighttime.
Low light.
Yeah.
And David saying I haven't found an in-town lab yet. So on that, I've been looking today because here there is a lab in town, but it's really slow and it's really expensive. So I found mail order places that are going to do a better job, I think. And definitely the scans were a lot cheaper. The cost of scanning is insane. It's ridiculous. And yeah, it's still not cheap. The whole exercise, by the time you've done with a roll of film and processing it, it's going to be like, I don't know, 2 rolls of film. Yeah, $40-$50, I reckon. It's
it's about $40 to $50, not including the
whole process. No, including the film, I reckon.
50. About 50. I mean, it depends where you go.
2 rolls of film.
Yeah. So you can go to Nice, David. I think they're based in of course Brooklyn. There's a few other places. Just say best online film labs, and there's articles will show up. There's 5 or 6 in the country that are well regarded. One, fortunately, is about a 40-minute drive away from me, so I'm gonna go test them. I just shot a roll of XP2 Super on the OM 4Ti, and then I have a HP5 Plus that I just did on the XA. So I'm going to try that lab for that. That probably won't be the rolls I'm going to shoot for this, but see where we wind up. I'm excited. Yeah. So there you go. Is there anything I don't like about the X100F? Yeah, it's not the X100V or 5. That's the thing. I mean, it's just that camera is slightly better. They're great. They're all fucking great. Just get a camera and shoot. They're all good. Come on. I just don't know if you're going to save that much money buying that other camera, and I don't think if you love the photographs you're taking with it, it's necessarily worth upgrading to the next, version. Are we? So Ona Coffee saying, are we talking about C41 processing or black and white processing? It depends what you're shooting. If you shoot XP2 Super, I think that's the only black and white film that's readily available in 120 and 35 millimeter right now that you can take and have done with C41 processing. All of the other ones are going to have to be black and white processing. So unless somebody knows of another stock that can also be done that way, I don't think so. Who have worked with who, Memo? I didn't catch that in the chat. Oh, a good lab is Bleecker Digital in New York City. Yeah, I don't know if they have a good online system where you ship stuff to them and they do that. Listening while driving, no snarky comments from me tonight. Oh, why not, Dan? Wow, it's really expensive in Berlin. So Michael says 35 millimeter black and white Devon scan equals 30 euros. Holy crap.
Ooh. Send it over the border to Prague. It's way cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say here it's averaging cheaper, what? Did you look around your town, Caleb? Because here, where I am, it's about 15 to 20 a roll, depending on what you're trying to get done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the camera has not left this desk. I was going to take it on the ski trip, and then I'm like, I don't want to screw it up.
Who cares?
And so I just left it here, and I was like, first day I get back. And I just got back yesterday.
That's probably just as well. If you'd had that kind of strap around your body, God
I wasn't going to ski with it. I wasn't going to ski with it. I was just to take it on the trip, snap some photos here and there. In Wausau, Wisconsin.
Wausau! Okay, so let's look at the calendar and look at the dates. So this is definitely we were talking, Caleb, February, right? We're thinking?
Right.
So we either are going to do February 23rd, which is a little less than a month from now, or we're going to do March 2nd. Does anybody have any feelings on that? March 2nd is Ash Wednesday. Not that for some people is a thing.
If possible, March 2nd might be preferred.
Okay.
So I've got, yeah.
Oh
No Coffee says March 2nd.
That of those two at the moment is preferable for me because I'll be traveling around then that last week in Feb. But I may be on an away job, like oil riggy job that week. But it's still a long way off getting confirmed that. So let's say 2nd of March.
Okay. So it seems like from the chat that the 2nd of March makes sense.
Looks good for me. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Okay. March 2nd. That's it. What's the platform we use for people to contribute? And we need those things to come in, starting at least a week before, right? I don't want stuff coming in on March 2nd.
You know full well it's all got to come in on March 2nd. You know full well our stuff's coming March 2nd.
Ridiculous. Stop it. It's two freaking photographs. Stop it. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Film.
Is this Flickr? What do we do? Flickr? What do we do? Does anybody?
I'm not doing Flickr.
Okay. So what do we do?
I will boycott that. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know why. I've never used Flickr. I mean, bless. What should we use?
Didn't get there in time.
What should we use? Thank you, Caleb. Keep drinking.
I'm lucky you don't say bless you. It's just bless.
Bless. Well, it's Ben. He's far away. I have to choose how many words I want to use. That doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
None whatsoever.
What's the platform? What are we using? It's not going to be Squarespace. I'll tell you that. What are we doing? Chat?
I don't know.
Anybody? Are you really boycotting Flickr? Tell us, Caleb. No, I don't need a backstory.
I probably have an account. I just hate Yahoo and all of their
products. Yeah. Oh, they own Flickr?
I think so.
Oh, I have no idea.
I just remember, then they start you want to upload 5 kilobits of photo? Here's a subscription. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Oh, stop it, 360 grad. Yeah, Instagram page. Then I have to cull everybody's stuff and try to put it up and categorize it. I
They
want
can't
something.
send it to.
What about
I'm
Google
trying
Photos?
to keep it
on
real.
Google
Yeah,
Drive?
no, go ahead, do it.
Non-demonetized.
No, do it. Yeah, go
At
ahead.
PC47.com. No, it went because of the
Shitty-
lack of
shitty-
color we're using. I
shitty
could
black and
easily see
white.
this video getting wrecked and your channel deleted if I
Shitty
gotta
black
go
and
the way I
white
was
photos at the C47. I don't know. What do you want to?
Yeah.
I
I'm
honestly,
an artist at the C47. I'm a hipster at the C47.
yeah. We need to do something that, look, if it's going to be sent to me, which it can be, it really needs to get to me before the weekend of the show, just so that I can go through. What are you saying? The weekend? Okay, by the weekend, Ben. Yeah, I do.
That's like 5 days, 6 days before the show. Are you insane? That's not going to happen.
You know,
Let's make it something realistic.
No, it's not 5
Maybe
days.
say like Tuesday.
How about an Apple iPhoto book for everyone? Remember those things?
Oh gosh.
Oh, I remember. I did one once.
iPhoto.
Oh my god, so unbelievable. Yeah, we'll post it on eWorld. It'll be perfect.
So what day are we doing this again? March 2nd?
Yeah, Wednesday, March 2nd.
How about Monday the 28th? Everyone has to submit. And you could have your photos
that
aren't
sounds
on
like a reasonable
on the
compromise,
show
yeah.
unless you do it.
Yeah.
That gives you Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
10 a.m.
Not the 28th
Pacific.
at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, okay? Like in the morning, like during the day. And I would just say, Chris, you are. I would say 2 JPEGs probably, right? I mean, that's what we're not. Don't send the PDF. Let's just get,
It's gonna be all smashed to Hades.
Yeah.
Once it gets on the stream, so.
Yeah.
Is there not a platform that we can set up that people can just upload this stuff to with their name and
another thing we could do?
No
you
work
could do, Jem,
involved?
is you could create. Do you have Dropbox, Google Docs, Google?
That's because I've got a Google Drive.
Public folder.
I guess I could create one. Yeah.
Yeah, public folder. Everyone can upload there. Everyone can, and after the show, you can share the link with everyone. Well, they'll all have it.
Wilder said, just pretend you got mine. I already got yours, Wilder. They already came through. Yours are ready. They're ready to go.
There's some kind of thing like that. Create a public folder. Everyone uploads and done. A folder for, they upload their own folder with their stuff, or a zip file with their 2 photos. With their name.
Yeah.
Something.
Thank you, Ono. Yes. I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I'll figure this out. It'll be a shared folder or a very specific email address. I'll post that, and it'll be Monday, the 28th, that everything's due. And wait a minute. Is this calendar wrong? Isn't this year, or is next year a leap year? I thought this was a leap year. Am I wrong?
It must be next. This year's not one.
Yeah. No wonder my client's not talking.
I thought I heard someone say this is like a leap year.
Yeah, probably me, Caleb.
How
much can we light? Travis, I don't care. It's whatever you want to create. So, if you were out in the city and you want to, use what's in the city as part of your shot, or if you want to sit there and do a tabletop and, spend a day or two setting up your shot, it doesn't matter. There's no rules except for there's 2 black and white shots shot on black and white film. Those shots are not cropped, so you basically can pose for the shot in terms of your frame. And one shot is daylight, available light, I guess, and then the other one can be at night or an interior, not with daylight streaming in, but like a lower light type of thing. Because I think that's part of the challenge is also, making a decision in terms of what speed film you're using, how do you rate the film, are you pushing the film, whatever it is. My recommendation, though it might not be a good one, is take one roll and use that for daylight, and then use another roll and use it for the other stuff. And if you, yeah, there you go. I don't know. Every 4gem. If that's supposed to be the email address, that takes the cake right there. PG-13 images. Yeah, I would say we're not really going for not safe for work images here. Let's keep it, no mannequins. That's probably.
He's got a different address to send the other ones to.
Well, somebody recommended an OnlyFans account. That's not part of what we're into here. Okay, you can submit those to wish.com or whatever, and that challenge is over. No, let's keep it. Let's keep it PG-13. So I think that's a fair assessment. There's plenty of interesting things in life that do not require nudity or a battery. So let's keep it like that. Am I allowed to say that on the show? There you go. So much for my OnlyFans content. Yes. Oh, no, you can keep it. It's just not going to be on this channel. Good. All right. Any other thoughts, Caleb, Ben, on the guidelines for this that can make it more specific, or anything that we should be thinking about at all?
Okay. That sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. I'll put together a show page and I'll figure out where people can submit. And of course, once I set it up, you can submit a little bit earlier. What is that tiny little glass you are sipping out of? Is that like a thimble? What's going on here? Oh, it's like really
it's just
nice.
a shot glass. I just have large hands.
Okay, I like that. I just have large hands. Okay, good. All right. Oh, and one other guideline for the challenge: you're not allowed to take a selfie with your camera looking into a mirror. That's not allowed. Okay, that's the only.
That was going to be both of mine.
Yeah, I know. I know it was. So,
one in the car mirror with my hair, kind of like across one eye.
Yeah.
And then the other in the actual mirror with a hoodie up.
Perfect.
Duck face.
Total hipster. Travis, that's one of the best comments of the day, actually. It's pretty good if you really read into it. Caleb's VPN gets rerouted through Zimbabwe. Okay, good. So there's it. That's what we got right there. It's ridiculous. All right, let's get some questions going then. Some production related questions or things related to photography. I would say that Ben, you're our resident expert here. And by the way, not that even though you're making fun of me when I went over there, and I do not have a scanner. The last scanner I had was like some really old Epson flatbed scanner. I am thinking about selling this Canon QL17 that I bought back in October. The one that's shutter priority. It's fully manual. Mm-hmm. And the main reason is I just don't think I love a shutter priority camera.
No.
So if anybody's interested, let me know. I bought it from Japan. It's near mint. It's in great condition. And if you have an interest, just shout out, especially if you're in the States, because that's easy. Yeah, there you go.
I tell you what, I'm seriously thinking about this scanner.
Okay.
Because all the negs that I took, not only at work for the first however many years of being a photographer, that I did entirely on film, so that's quite a bit. I used to do loads and loads of holiday pictures that are still there. When I was at my mum's in the summer, I was there in the autumn with my kids, and they went through all these drawers and drawers and drawers of all her photos, and there's so much of that stuff. Not that I ever have time to scan any of this stuff, obviously, but in my head, there's a justification for spending money on a toy scanner. Not a toy scanner, a scanner that is going to essentially be a toy because it's not going to make any money. That I have got an awful lot of negatives, positives lying around that would be nice to at least have the ability to digitize and look at them, because a lot of those I haven't got the prints for anymore. So I'm thinking if I can get one for around £100, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Problem is they're all in the UK, and getting them here at the moment is nigh on impossible.
Well, chances
you'll end
are
up paying
stupid
money. I'll wait till I'm over there.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Buy it, store it.
Boris might be able to deliver it to you personally soon. So, maybe if you order it now.
Let's not talk about him.
Memo Montesino says, I can scan all of the photos. So March 2nd, 2023, we'll do this. That sounds like a good plan. Long-time watcher, first-time commenter, DSLR Video Shooter. Welcome to the show, by the way. It's great to have you. Huge numbers out there. I wish I had a channel with the numbers that DSLR Video Shooter has. How would you rate expose XP2 Super 400 black and white film on an OM10 or any camera? Over under stoppage 320 ISO, and that's where you're going to rate the camera. So 320, and then you just have them process at 400 to the film speed, and then that's what Dad says, and I literally mean Dad, not like some my dad. So 320. Give it a shot. See what happens.
Got it.
Yeah. Chris does XP2 400 at box speed, but you're kind of if you're metering at 320 though, it's going to ask for a little more light, and then see what happens. That's the fun of it. Cool, good. What else? What other questions do we have? Or gentlemen, what else do you want to say? It doesn't have to be about the challenge. I'm ready. We can just talk about it. Now Guillermo's like no more than 40. He's got a limit now, which is 80.
Guillermo, where are you?
He's in Florida.
Yeah, thank you for the offer.
That's not helpful.
He's gonna have Boris. He's gonna have Boris deliver his 100 quid.
Although
scanner.
To be fair, the time that it has taken to get my daughter she's football mad, ordered a football shirt at the beginning of December, or it might have even been the end of November. It turned up yesterday.
Get out
from
of
the
here.
UK.
Are you serious?
Yes.
When I buy things for my family in the UK now,
customs.
I just buy it on Amazon in the UK and have it delivered, or from a UK company, because it's all a big mess.
Yeah, right. So I used to buy so much stuff from the UK, get it shipped here. Now you have to try and find suppliers.
Yeah.
Within the block to get stuff sent without it
within the block.
Yeah. Without it take stuff, because
So-
it's customs, and then it just gets held up. So you end up paying a fee on it. You end up paying VAT on it when it comes in, and then you end up just waiting forever. So it's a nightmare.
What are you gonna say, Caleb?
Dumb question potentially here. So when you say rate at 320, do you mean set the camera to 320?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're setting the camera. So then, if you're metering,
The camera thinks it's 320, so
it'll say,
I'm
"Hey, I
exposing
need a
to the
little.
right
I need a little bit more light." Yeah, not much,
Right.
but just a little bit more. Whether that's right or not, I mean, that shoot one at 400 and one at 320 and see what you think. But yeah,
There you go. That's it. 360. Yes. Well, I'm well aware of why it's happening. It is nevertheless still happening.
You know how you said you're not drinking as much now, Ben?
Yes.
If you have
Maybe I
Boris deliver the scanner, he'll take all your booze back with him to the UK.
Yeah.
He'll throw a couple of parties. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
I'm over there in the car at the end of February, so I will be. I can bring stuff back then. You can smuggle things.
A
Not
scanner.
smuggle things. No, just a scanner.
So if you got your scanner, Ben, you would then have your photo. You would have your. Would you do your own developing, or are you not into that? That sounds awful to me. Having a dark room, chemicals,
No.
and mess around with all that, and then you just scan your own photos, because then you can have complete control over that whole process.
So the last set of film that I got done, the scans were absolutely abysmal. They were really, really bad. And so I want to get someone else to develop them, because I just haven't got time or the inclination to be buying chemicals, storing chemicals. It's not, if you're only developing film, you don't actually need a huge amount of, you don't need a dedicated room. If you're printing stuff, you need more space. You need a properly dark room. If you're just doing film, all you really need is a light bag. The things that you transfer from sort of to take the film out of the canister and put it into the developing pot bucket. What do you call it? Anyway. Yeah. So you don't need, it's much less sort of resource hungry in terms of space. You're not needing to blank out a room to do it, but it's still having chemicals and keeping them properly and temperatures.
And like if you
and all
screw
that.
it
It's still
up,
a pain
is it
in the
hard to
ass.
screw up? Like where you completely
No.
ruin a roll of film?
It's easy. It's harder. Like, color's really complicated because you need to be extremely accurate with everything. Black and white's a little more forgiving. You've got more leeway to cock up a little bit with black and white. I mean, in terms of really ruining things, it's if you end up when you're pulling the film out of the canister and putting it in, and you cock that up and you expose that to light, that kind of kills it.
Yeah.
And that does take a bit of practice. We used to have dead films that we used to practice on doing that transfer, because you're just doing it all by touch. You can't see anything, obviously. So it's all working out how that, when you put that onto the reel that goes into the drum where you're going to expose it to the fluid, it's a bit of a fiddle, because you put the thing on, you have to get it so that it bites, and then you twist the thing backwards and forwards, and it pulls that onto the spool. So it's got gaps in it, so everything's then exposed to the same amount of fluid as it goes in. It's kind of, it's a fiddle. So you can cock it up, but once you get the hang of it, it's fine. But it's just more stuff to do. It would be nice. It would be nice to do, and if we really, really, really get into it, then maybe. But I doubt it.
You could go to cinestill.com, Caleb. And not only is it a good resource to buy film, their prices are quite reasonable. And if you buy whatever it is, $75 worth of film, which is not hard to do nowadays, then you'll get free shipping. But they do have a black and white solution that comes either in a powder or liquid. And it's supposed to be, it's not bulletproof. I haven't tried it, but it's supposed to be pretty forgiving for and black and white is more forgiving, but I'm thinking about buying a little kit from CineStill to give that a shot. There's also another contraption which you can actually develop film in daylight. You don't need a light bag, and I watched a couple of videos on it. It's a little fiddly. You have to have your leader out, and you have to like crimp it before you load the film so that when you're winding it back, it doesn't go back into the canister and some other things. But that looks interesting, but it's expensive, and there's definitely some downsides to that as well. Like, you really have to get used to their process. That's Chris is saying it's the CineStill black and white mono bath, which I think is essentially kind of a universal black and white film developer that's supposed to. Is it, Chris, pretty forgiving in terms of timing and stuff like that? Because you don't need fixer and all of that kind of stuff. I think it's just one solution, right? That's the thing on the right-hand side, I think. But then the one in the second one over to the right, Caleb, I think that's their black and white developer thing. So it's the second picture in. Yeah, that's a kit. So that's what I'm thinking
Ready
about.
to use.
Yeah. So anybody wants to, if anybody wants to, look, that's Dan Fakos there. No, I'm just kidding. If anybody wants to, it's so funny. If anybody wants to, especially Chris, chime in on that, it is great. I had it for a long time sitting in the cabinet, and it still worked. I just started using a monobath, and it's so easy. Love it. So Travis echoes it. Yeah.
The one thing that we haven't mentioned about the whole you doing the chemical process at home, I love the smell of it. Really,
I love markers. I used to love like being in a dark room. Well, I mean, I just love the smell of a dark room and all those. Yeah, it's just yeah.
So a funny little story about how I essentially became a photographer was, and this is very evocative of this when I smell that stuff. I worked for the local paper, which is where my mum was a journalist. I knew the photographers since I was, a young kid. And when I got to 14, 15, I did my school work experience. I did that with the newspaper photographers, who were amazing. Gave me a camera, shot loads and loads and loads, and then they taught me to develop and print it. And they used to have Merrydown cider in the fridges in the dark rooms. So when they were developing, they would be drinking this, getting drunk. And so I got hammered on my school work experience, and my teacher came in to check up on me when I was drunk. And they locked me in the dark room. They said, he's doing very well. Everything's great, but he can't come out right now because he'll ruin all the work and the stuff that's going in the paper. So, just come back tomorrow maybe, but he's fine. So it was a very happy time, and it kind of heavily influenced what I now do for a living. And the smell of that brings it all straight back.
So all we have to do is start giving those chemicals back to Ben, and he'll be drinking like 24 hours a day, Caleb. That's we got to keep the chemicals away from him, is what he's basically saying.
Meanwhile,
goes very well with Merry Downsider. Yeah,
hearing that story took me on a rabbit trail.
Yeah. Are you sharing something?
Random thing.
Yeah,
I'm about to. So smells, right? You guys were like, "Oh, I love the smell of the chemicals," and it reminded me of. I still have about 3 of my grandfather's. Have you ever heard of markers?
No.
They're like.
Is there a hyphen between them?
Thick.
Is there like a marks and then a dash and then an A and then a dash and then a lot?
Yes.
I think so. Yes. They're like chisel shape.
Yeah. Thick boy markers.
Yeah.
Like really huge chisel on the end. And I have 3 of them. I took them from my grandfather's. And the smell is, you can smell the cancer, but it smells great. And they're from the 70s. And they write amazing even today. These are
they still the ink still works?
Oh, it works great. These are ancient. And so I just looked it up because I'm trying to find a photo. And these are apparently fairly valuable.
Seriously?
Yeah. So here's one for 40. One that doesn't work for $42.
Do you know back in the 80s, this is what, I didn't say me, but people when I grew up in New York would tag with those markers. Not that I would have ever done that ever. But they were big tagging markers for graffiti. And then the other ones those don't have a ball bearing in them, do they, Caleb?
No. Just
so then the other ones were the ball bearing ones that people, and they would get them. They were like silver, and they would tag with those all over the phone booths in New York. But those marks a lot, and also those ball bearing markers were the ones that people used to tag in New York with all the time. And the big fat ones, they would just go up and they would tag their names on everything.
The marketing is accurate. It marks a lot.
Yeah,
but I had no idea they were worth $45, $50 all used up. Jeez.
Hey, you know what? When they do run out, unless you have a sentimental attachment, which it sounds like you do, that could be like a great night out for the family. You could go out. Yeah, that's like a steak dinner for the family. Beautiful.
Yep.
Do it. So this Cine Still DF96 monobath, it's basically everything. So it's just one mixture. It does it all the way through fixer. I'm going to get some. Screw it. I'm trying it. I'm excited. Oh no, Coffee's got some
price.
too.
Look at the price on that.
Yeah, what's the kit? Because you need the canister too. Do you have a canister still around? We might have them. I think we threw it all out when we moved to Oregon, though. Like the enlarger went, everything went when we moved out.
I see. I never owned
right
that
now.
stuff.
It's on sale, $60 for the whole kit.
I'll do it. I might order one.
According to what you guys have been talking about for pricing, that's
how many rolls? I guess how many rolls can you get out of the monobath, the DF96? Come on, Chris, Travis. Does it say how many rolls you can develop out of that? That's what I want to know. You have a hard out at 4, Caleb? Hey, Dan Fakos.
8 rolls. 8 rolls.
That's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't include scanning, but if you can pick up a scanner for $100.
Wait. Liquid, 8 rolls. Powder, 16 rolls.
Dang. Yeah, because you have to provide your own water, and water is very expensive. So,
here.
Oh yeah, Keith Haring used those too. Memo. Great. So I think I'm gonna buy a kit, and then it's just scanning. That's the other thing. I think I'm in. Screw it. Why not? I'm not setting up a darkroom, but developing my own black and white. If it's really as easy as this sounds, then maybe that's a great solution. is get this kit and then a scanner and have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a ball of gem fun.
And Ben will be very drunk because he'll get the kit and he'll be like, it smells just like whatever it is you need to drink.
The thing is, you can't get decent cider here, so I'm safe.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Chris says you can get about 20 rolls, but you have to add about 15 seconds or so to each successive develop because the chemicals start to.
Interesting. The other thing I was going to say on all this is if you're not, wanting to do it at home, but wanting to have a go, have a look around in your local town and see if there is an art centre or a camera club. And often there is a lab set up. And if you join for a very small fee, you can normally get access to all that stuff. That's certainly something that happens locally here.
Oh, yeah.
And in my hometown in the UK.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
I like it.
Look around.
Okay, good. Well, I think we have our plan, everybody. I'm excited about this. I really want there to be at least a dozen or more people who are part of this besides the three of us. I think that's really the fun of it. And then we'll see where it goes. And if we enjoy it, maybe we'll make this more regular. Do we have an idea for next week in terms of what we're going to talk about? Is it just sort of what's happening in the industry? Or Caleb, you got something?
I got nothing, man.
Yeah.
I'm just icing and elevating my leg and taking Epsom salt baths up in here. So
that's magic stuff, Epsom salts, by the way.
It is. It's powerful
really
stuff.
It is. It is powerful.
It can ruin your life if you have a bath too long. So careful out there, boys and girls.
Bath Stop for Developing has the skull and bones warning. Hell yeah, let's do it. I signed up for a class at my local community college to get lab access all week. Perfect.
There you go.
Andrew. There it is. All right, kids. Keep it clean. Well, try to. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your family and friends, and eat good food. That's a good part. Yeah. Eating good food is definitely very satisfying. I don't know why, but it really is. All right. All the best, everybody. Love you guys. See ya.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Night all.